And my dad is such a wizard, empty, amoral, selfish, sodomite. And I wrestled with it a lot. I really was thinking about killing my dad. And I'm like, ah!
Nurse said I had a big wiener for a baby. Don't believe me? I have it documented.
True or false? I had a huge wiener when I was born. True or false? I have pictures now to prove it.
You do. You had big balls.
When I was born, I had big balls.
Yeah.
True or false? I had a huge wiener when I was born. True or false? I have pictures now to prove it.
You do. You had big balls.
When I was born, I had big balls.
Yes.
Didn't have a lot of friends, but the ones I had were awesome, and they still are. I got punched in the face quite a bit, but I had a dog and a paper route, so not a lot could get me down. We didn't have a TV from my early childhood, but I had a record player and a piano. That's my teacher, Lucinda. She showed me that music doesn't exist on a page. It just is. It's everywhere. She changed my life. Lucinda became Larry in 1991. We are still bros. Larry's wicked supportive. Great dude.
Mortality rate for trans people is 40% by gunshot wound to the head. Not only did they not care, they were trying to push it on kids. Has everybody been fucking asleep the whole time? Trans people have a 40% suicide rate. 40. Bang, right to the head. And the ones that don't do that can't have children.
Abuse from a Fathero and Benjamin. Larry Rapshaw. Larry Rapshaw 11 hours ago. Of course. Might partially explain the 40% suicide rate. Not everything is understood about the causes of transgenderism. Even trans people themselves may be unaware of all the factors that have made them what they are. As for me, for example, I had definite male physical and mental characteristics that were puzzling but undeniable. It's like being an octagon in a world where you are categorized as a kind of weird-looking bumpy circle. But you feel more like a square with no corners. And you tell people you are a square, and they tell you that you are a devil for seeing yourself that way. Evil powders. Larry Rapshaw. Larry Rapshaw 11 hours ago, edited. And to make matters even more interesting, it's pretty obvious to everyone by now that Owen is wrestling with the very same principle that I mentioned above. I think his characteristics are even more blatant. Obviously, it's genetic. There isn't a damn thing he can do about it other than loudly try to convince himself that he is 100% macho, for now. If he works through all this with a sense of hope and happiness, which I sincerely pray he does, he won't be one of the 40%. Himself. I am fairly confident in his ability to surf the storm. By the way, it's not unusual for people in our position to try to purge ourselves of the so-called strange notions of our gender identities by throwing ourselves into the refining fires of religious fervor. When you walk out of the flames and look in the mirror, that's who you are. Little green sprigs of life, poking out of the charred earth. P.S. I am not implying that Owen is actually trans, per se. But I do believe he is on the spectrum of variation of what is generally outlined as male or female. Therefore, there is a distinct difference between Owen and me. I was labeled female and decided to identify with my male characteristics. Owen was born male, identifies with his assigned gender, and feels uncomfortable with any female markers. That's the difference.
This is happening right now. Okay, so Good Morning America, which is like the big mainstream media, hello America, good morning. Back in my day when I was a kid, or most of my adult life, it would be like, you know, feel good pieces and cats and stuff. Now it's 11-year-olds with autism, drag queens. So they had this kid, Desmond the Great or something. And my heart bleeds for this kid. This kid is probably going to kill himself. And it's because of horrible parenting. You need normal conservative roots and nation and secure borders and family and God and work and pride in your work and your family. Like these things are necessary. So when people tell me like, oh, well, this person, he once blogged about, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Who has a plan to to stop 11-year-olds from being drag queens on Good Morning America, right? Because it gets worse, right? So this little kid has autism, guys. Autism. And meet the 11-year-old drag kid who RuPaul calls the future of America. That's a kid on the autistic spectrum. That's a kid that needs protection, family protection. You don't put an 11-year-old on Good Morning America dressed as a girl, being all like sexy, but so 11-year-olds can't be sexy, you fucking psychopaths. And has that autistic rigidness. I literally almost started bawling, but I just got angry because that's usually what happens with me is I don't get super emotionally vulnerable. I get rage. Like, what are you hiding? Who is your master? And so I think his parents should be put in prison or executed. I think that anybody promoting this should be imprisoned or executed. I'm not be tolerant, big. Not only will I not be tolerant, there needs to be some punishment. Someone needs to protect this kid because it gets way worse, guys. The 11-year-old drag queen dances for dollar bills in gay bars and Breitbart. This is a real story, guys. I looked deep into this. It just won't be reported by mainstream media because as sick as the left-wing media is making this country, they're not quite ready for that. But imagine telling your 2010 self that this was even possible. So there was this gay bar in Brooklyn, and lo and behold, an 11-year-old comes out, and everybody's, oh, this is so funny. No way. And these sick old men are just putting dollar bills in this autistic 11-year-old's G-string in high heels. People need to die for this. Once violence is greenlit, people like me are going to have to kill these people. This bitch is living with a pedophile.
Nike's expression is just do it. But if Nike gets depressed, they say, don't it.
And so she's covering, and I don't know if she's part of it. I have no idea. But she sees the whole world like she sees children as sexual. Just know that this is all a joke compared to my pedophile-ridden childhood of violence and brutality that you can't really comprehend if you haven't experienced it. Do you think you can join up with the devil and become his like king minion and have a fun life? He'll give you a beautiful wife and you'll lose your ability of getting a boner.
Erectile dysfunction comes from porn. It makes you not breed. Like you literally no longer breed. Your dick doesn't work. It's like eating fucking 1,000 Skittles and then trying to just enjoy like an apple. It's they're trying to make you not breathe. They're trying to replace you. Literally, they are. And that's a fact.
Like my pedophile teachers and all the fucking abuse and everything.
Father, look at what they are.
Outside, and they tell everybody they're trans.
Save their own boy.
Guys, the fucking lights are out.
Look at your
Corona.
Look at your precious man.
It's gotten worse.
Look at what they do. You know how easy it was to trick them? Look at them, Father. You loved me more once.
I think we're going in the wrong direction.
Did I have balls? They haven't dropped yet. Did the balls drop?